Welcome everybody back to Boost in Motion, guys. And today I want to talk about how expensive cars have gotten in the last 2 years. And I'm gonna answer you guys questions. Should you be buying an Infiniti Q50, Q60, or should you be selling your Infiniti Q60? And pretty much we're gonna look at some analytics because we're not talking about things on just assumptions here. We're actually gonna look at the hard data that's been collected to see if this is a good time or bad time to even buy or sell a car. But anyway, guys, you know what to do. Guys, please hit the like. Let's jump into it. Welcome everybody back to Boost in Motion, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Thank you. So welcome back, everybody. Because I already know that you already hit the like button, so I'm not gonna say it again. But I do appreciate you guys for always showing your love to the Boost in Motion channel. Also, on top of that, guys, remember I'm still trying something different, something new. So today we're gonna look at a couple of articles, and I'm gonna show you guys a website that I can use as a trends website to see if you're being pretty much extorted for your money or overpaying for a car. But anyways, let's just jump right into it. So I want to do a quick screen share of Jalopnik. They had a small article that came out, and it was. Let me just double check. This is the article. It says, "Welcome to the used car buying hell." Right. And what's so funny about this article is there's a dealership in PA overcharging for specific cars, even used cars. For instance, they have three of these Mirages, right? 2020 Mirages, and they want $30,000 for a Mirage that has about 10,000 miles on this. For anyone that knows, that is astoundingly way too high for those specific cars, right? Also they come use a comparison showing a Ford Fusion 2006 Ford Fusion, right? The article says someone in the market for a Ford Fusion shouldn't be too sad that Ford doesn't make them anymore. Platinum can help them out though, as long as they're willing to spend $20,000 on a 16-year-old car. Anyone knows, and no one knows in this market that this car is not a $20,000 car. And this lets you know how the insanity is when it comes to pretty much the shipping shortage, the chip shortage within the United States. Now, before I break it down on to talking about should you buy an Infiniti or sell your Infiniti, right? Let me just give you guys, let me set the precedence. Let me set the stage on what I actually mean what I'm about to say next, right? Um, Anyone who's in business that sells stuff, you understand product and or your demand, right? And in the last 2 years, this hyperinflated demand is very false. And here's what I'm gonna say. Anyone can comment below and tell me if I'm wrong or right, right? Now, we necessarily do not have a shortage in a lot of these stuff. What is happening is there is a consistent demand of a product. And because the supply chains have slowed down or came to a full-fledged stop, that means that once we put the bread on the shelves, it's already going away because the demand still has remained steady. People think that that's a shortage, but the thing is, no, there's still enough product. It's just not getting to you fast enough depending on the demand. So let's apply the same thing when it comes to cars, right? People still want to buy new cars on used cars, right? That's just, let's split it between the middle and that. Because there's a bunch of new cars, right, that still need these specific chips because of all electronics in it. Usually those newer buyers that are coming out of leases usually hop into new cars. Well, guess what happens? There's no new cars, or there's a shortage of these cars. So the demand is still there. But what these people are sitting there saying is, well, I can't get a new car and I can't wait long enough. Let me go into the used car market and purchase a car for a short period of time. This could be any specific car that they choose to actually purchase and get into. So we're going to underline and really speak about Infinities in this video, but I just wanted to show you the article and set the foundation on what I actually mean, right? Because think about it like this. All those vehicles that are sitting on airport lots and storage areas that are just waiting on ships, they still have to be sold. They're not written off or crushed. They need the chips. So these dealerships are now going to get 2021 vehicles in 2022 because there's chips going into them, and now they're going to push these out into the market. Um, if the demand always stays the same, and you just now shove a bunch of new cars on the market from a year ago with the chipping shortage, what do you think is going to actually happen to these prices now that they got hyperinflated because of the supply and demand? It crashes the market or it corrects the market. So when you overpay for certain cars, $10,000, $20,000 for a car or $5,000, right? And the older year now is now still new, comes in there. Now the whatever year has to market correct. The buyer is not going to pay 10 or 15K above that car anymore because the newer one is out or the one that's a year old is now out, right? So I want to use the example of an M3. All right, bear with me. I'm going to get to the article, but let's use an example of an M3. People, if you're looking to purchase an M3 right now, the MSRP is between mid 70s to high 80s, right? You can't get them at the market because the dealership because you have to order them, right? And they have to build your car. But when it comes in, shout out to Winner, he told me that when it comes in, depending on yesterday's prices and today's price, when it comes to the dealer lot, they know there's a demand for this car, right? So they can know that they can add 10, 15K on top of the car because whoever had bank want the car, so they're gonna pay it. But the regular user that usually used to paying $800,000, $900,000 for this car, I mean $900 for this car per month, now they're looking at a bill that's 13, 12, 13, 1400 dollars a month for the same car. And why are they overcharging you? This is why I say the supply demand thing is bullshit. And this is why dealerships are just honestly price gouging and taking a tip from you guys' pocket. Because guess what now? When the supply shortage goes away, because it will go away, right? The market is now going to correct. You paid 10 to 15K for your brand new M3. Now, guess what happens? Now there's a supply here. It comes in. You paid 10, 15K above. That does now, your car is not $95,000 anymore in a used market. It crashes below whatever the MSRP of the new year is. So if the MSRP of the new year is $75,000 and you spent 85, $90,000 on it because you want to be exclusive and it was on the market going for that much, the depreciation it goes below 75. So you guys are gonna not only lose the 10 15K you put on top of your car, but the market is gonna correct and go below the MSRP of the latest year. You guys are losing 30,000, 20, $30,000 off rip just by doing this. And this is why I hate the supply chain. So anyways, let's jump into it. Let me show you guys some trends. So what I'm going to share here is car gurus. And what I like about car gurus is that what they do is they look at the trends on how much these cars actually sell for, right? And the car we're going to really necessarily look at today is a Infiniti Q50. Now, so you guys can briefly understand what we're looking at. We're going to compare from 2019 to 2021. Let's update the chart. This is an updated chart from 2019, today's date, 119 or 120, whatever, to the end date of 119/2022. This is a 3-year graph. Now, we're going to put 2014 up. This is the first year of the Q50, 3.7. We're going to put up 2016. This is when they dropped the VR, right? And we're going to put the latest year, let's say 2021, because that's the latest year, right? Let's try to keep it within that. We could throw 2018s and let's throw 2018 in there too, because that's when they changed the body style. So we're looking at four different data points, right? Cool. So wow, they don't tell me what color is okay. They do. All right, so let's take off the index price. Let's take that off. No, let's okay, cool. So in 2019, let's look at the first car. That's going to be the red 2014 Q50. That is this line right here, this bottom line. 3 years ago, this car was going for about $19,000 on average, right? And then as the year continued to progress, I remember this car dropping to $15,000, $16,000. And we started going into January, the end of 2019, this car was about $16,000. So it lost about $3,000 in value going from 2019 to 2020 because that was just the depreciation during that year, right? Now, the pandemic hit right around January, February, and March of 2020. So cars that weren't being bought, dealers were trying to figure out what was going on. A lot of the stuff we didn't know what we were doing. So this price of this car dropped to about $15,000. This is going to be of April of 2020. Now, as the price started ramping up right around the summertime of 2020 because people started going back out, purchasing cars, buying cars, and trying to return back normal. Once again, the prices start coming back up. We got right to about $17,000, and then it slowly starts slowing down again last year, 2021, and came to down to about $16,000. Now the supply chain shortage really started up, ramping up, sometime second quarter of 2021, right? That's right around April and on of 2021. Look what the prices did. They went right back up to about $20,000. Why should you guys even care about that? Why should you guys care about that? Because when you look at trends, when you look at this type of stuff, the trajectory was this car was coming down in value. Let's just we can definitely just try to remove this idea of just 2019 out to 2020, from January 2019 to December 2020. I mean 2019. Notice that the price was already depreciation. That wasn't because of what was going on in the world. Naturally, the car was starting to become outdated. It's 6 to 7 years old. And because of the market switching and the price demand, the car literally went back to pre-pandemic levels even a year before then. That is inflated because of a price demand, right? Let's take out 2014. Let's add in 2016. 2016 is once again the same orange number. That car on average was $25,000. I even have videos talking about building a 2017 Q60 from like 3 years ago, and I talked about the pricing, and literally it was right around close to around this price. Once again, the end of 2019, it started coming down. 2020 hit, it started doing the same hump and it came down. And once again, 3 years later, the car is going for about $25,000 for 2016. Let's look at 2018 and see if the same thing has happened. Same thing has happened here. $30,000 down to 25, back up to 27, back down again. And once again, the supply chain shortage, we're back here. And finally, we're going to look at 2020. Look at what happened with 2020 though, right? Because the chart is only about a year and a half old. The car starts off right around about $50,000, right? The supply, and then as time goes on, naturally the car's value is going to drop once you drive off the lot. You're going to get hit 8%, 10%, 12%, right? And then out of nowhere, it just maintains that value of about 40, 42, 45, $40,000 because it's the last year. It maintained that value. It didn't increase because the increase went to the way more affordable cars in the market. So, knowing this information now, right? Should you guys purchase this car? Let me make it a little easier. Let me jump into a 2020. Just let's do it for fun. Bang, this one's a really good chart. 2020 Infiniti Q50s. Bear with me, guys. Hit the like button if you're still with me, all right? $50,000. Hard drop because of the what was going on in the world because no one was buying cars. You can buy a 2020 Infiniti Q50 was $50,000. At the end of May, you are buying a 2020 Q50 for $31,000. That is an amazing huge hit because of the supply chain depreciation and shortage. Then it started ramping back up to about 34, came back down, and once again we are right around $38,000 for 2020. And even with this price, it's hard for you to get a 2020 even for this price. So this is still capping here, right? So what should you guys do? Let me stop screen sharing. What should you guys do? Should you guys now go out and sell your Infiniti Q50. Let me fix the lens a little bit. Should you go out and sell your Infiniti Q50, knowing that if you bought it pre of what happened in the world, that you might be able to get some of your money back? Honestly, I'm gonna tell you guys my honest opinion. I think yes. If you know that you can break even and end up make some money on the car that you purchased, and you may not be interested in keeping this car anymore, do so. But understand this: when you go back out in the market, right, you're going to go out there and you're going to also purchase other cars for inflated prices too. So this is where the site Car Trends come in, or Car Gurus come in, and it lets you know the pre-pandemic levels of where the price would be, so that you're getting the good value. Because the thing about it is, if you went out right now and you wanted to purchase that 2014 Q50, let's bring up the screen sharing. I want to really show you guys. Bring the screen sharing back up, right? If you want to go out and buy a 2014 Q50 right now, right? And you went out there and you sat there and said, all right, this is the car I want to get. This is the car. Look at this. You go out and you buy it right now. It is $20,000 from a car that was $20,000 3 years ago. Understand, this downtrend that was happening naturally. And anything between this is all inflated. So at some point, when the supply chain shortage returns back to normal, you're going to lose $5K off rip, because this car is supposed to be a $15,000 car. Well, 16, 7, 15, I'll say $15,000 car. It was naturally going to go there because it were newer year Q50s. So you're overpaying for these older cars. So knowing that their price, make sure that you haggle these dealers and get them down to a price where you might have to try to get them to take 10, 15% off. Try not to put money down as a down payment, because you're throwing that money away. But if you choose to drive off the lot with that used car and it crashes, depending on the market, the insurance company might sit there and say, we know you paid $20,000 for it last year, but the actual value for it is only about $13,000. Because a year ago we had this issue, but now it's returned normal. So I want you guys to be savvy shoppers and go out there and make these proper decisions. And just be very meticulous and very detailed with it, because it's unfortunate. A lot of people are overpaying right now because they need cars, and I get it. And some cars may not have this much demand or increase. But just know 2022 is going to be the year of you getting got if you're not being a smart shopper. Pay attention to the trends, look into it, and be very careful and very meticulous. All right. So outside of that, guys, I hope this video was very informative and gave the best information possible. Definitely check out Car Gurus for other cars you want to purchase. And shout out to Jalopnik making a short video. I just made a short video talking about it because these car dealers are not even looking out for them anymore. They were never looking out for you. But at the end of the day, just because there's a supply and demand, and I took business class in college. I understand it. I understand the analytics behind it. But at this point, it's inflated. They saw that there was a demand, so they just added a price so they can make a tip. But they don't understand now they're going to crash the market, and it's going to really come back and affect them. Because now those cars, they're going to have to make a huge correction in the prices of cars coming up soon. And best believe, I'm going to be sitting there waiting to see the fire of it happening. So outside that, guys, short video or long video, 20 minutes. Outside that, guys, you know what to do. Hit me up at boostinmotion on IG, Facebook, and boostinmotion@gmail.com. Otherwise than that, guys, you have good morning, good afternoon, good night. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you so much. You have a good day. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Do appreciate you guys. Love you guys very much. You can also check out the 2 links I posted for some of my other videos. Also, on top of that, if you want to purchase some BoostinMotion merch, definitely check the link that I posted also. And finally, if you've been watching all my videos and you enjoy them, please hit the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.